A Mortal's Journey to Immortality episode 176. In the previous episode, Han Li and his companions finally arrived at Soaring Heavens Mountain, home to one of the largest cities in the heavenly south. Standing before its towering stone walls, Han Li couldn't help but compare it to the grand heavenly star city of the scattered star seas. After entering the city, he and senior martial brother Lu Luo settled into a residence meant for Nascent Soul cultivators. But just as they were choosing their pavilions, an unexpected encounter awaited: the appearance of the child fire dragon. A prodigious cultivator Han Li once met during the sword trial assembly. Surprised yet friendly, the young cultivator invited Han Li and Lu Luo to a small private trade meeting hosted by his friend, Daoist Heavencrystal, inside the Crystal Dragon Pavilion. This rare gathering promised treasures and secrets only nascent soul cultivators could trade. And the story continues. It's right here, fellow Daoists. Let's go in, the child fire dragon said with a smile, striding confidently toward the Crystal Dragon Pavilion, and Han Li followed closely, curiosity stirring in his heart. As they reached the large gate, Han Li casually glanced inside and immediately felt a flicker of surprise. To an outsider, the pavilion seemed no different from an ordinary restaurant, full of patrons eating, drinking, and laughing, with waiters bustling between tables, carrying trays laden with food and cups that clinked against one another. The rich aromas of wine and dishes filled the air, blending with the constant sounds of cheerful chatter and clinking utensils. Yet, hanging by the side of the gate was a foot-long wooden plate inscribed in stark black characters: "This building is taken. Outsiders are prohibited." The child fire dragon muttered dismissively. That old ghost Heavencrystal is still playing around with silly illusion techniques. Really, and paid no further attention, stepping inside with unwavering confidence. Han Li, however, felt a ripple of unease and extended his spiritual sense across the floor. The moment he did, his expression shifted subtly. Passing through the gate, the bustling restaurant suddenly vanished like a bubble popping. The guests, waiters, and all the sensory richness disappeared, leaving only a gray mist surrounding the building. At the center, a simple old-fashioned table was illuminated by a single copper lamp, and seated behind it was a gray-robed Daoist with an amiable, welcoming face. He seemed around 60, his eyes glinting as he looked upon the newcomers. "I didn't expect Brother Lan to arrive, let alone bring guests. This old Daoist's eyes aren't what they used to be. It seems I haven't met this azure-robed fellow Daoist before. Could he be newly ascended to Nascent Soul?" the gray-robed Daoist said warmly, gesturing to them with a courteous smile. The child fire dragon returned the smile, though his tone was unexpectedly harsh. "Brother Heavencrystal, I've brought 2 uninvited guests. Surely you won't refuse them?" "Why would I?" the Daoist replied pleasantly. "This place welcomes all fellow Daoists. I'm acquainted with fellow Daoist Lu, but it appears I should learn more about your companion." His gaze lingered on Han Li. Han Li stepped forward respectfully, saluting. "I am Han Li of the Drifting Cloud sect, a newly ascended nascent soul cultivator. I hope Daoist Heavencrystal will provide me with guidance in the future." A smile spread across Daoist Heavencrystal's face. "Ah, so he is from Brother Lu's sect. From his young age, he undoubtedly has boundless prospects." The child fire dragon interrupted lightly. "Enough, old friend. The others should be arriving soon. We'll go upstairs." Daoist Heavencrystal sighed gently. Brother Lan is still impatient. Almost everyone has already arrived, and a few of the more impatient ones have even started trading. "Here are 2 black spirit masks for your guests. Brother Lan, do you need one?" He flicked his hands, summoning 2 black wooden masks glowing with faint talismanic light. The child fire dragon puffed his cheeks in mild annoyance. "You should know that with my stature, no illusion can hide me." "Of course, please come up," the Daoist said casually, tossing the masks to Han Li and Lu Luo. At the same time, a streak of white light cut through the mist, revealing stairs made of shimmering light leading to the 2nd floor. Without delay, the child fire dragon strode up the stairs, with Han Li and Lu Luo following after saluting the Daoist. Han Li noticed his mask was identical to Lu Luo's. He put it on without hesitation. The mask was cold, soft, and surprisingly comfortable, barely noticeable as he climbed. Glancing at Luo, he saw the same icy wooden features hidden behind the mask, and he faintly smiled at the sight. The second floor was a revelation. Moonstones the size of fists lined the ceiling and walls, bathing the space in a soft, consistent glow. The area was far more spacious than the first floor, though the exterior had suggested otherwise. Tables lined the walls, chairs neatly arranged, and cultivators of all ages and genders occupied them. Countless eyes immediately swept over the child fire dragon as he walked confidently. Though none dared approach him, Han Li's gaze measured the room carefully. With the masks on, even cultivators with keen spiritual senses could not fully discern each other's identities. Yet the fluctuations of Nascent Soul energy were unmistakable. He noted two mid-stage Nascent Soul cultivators sitting alone, their isolation signaling both their strength and the caution others exercised around them. In one corner, a few impatient cultivators were already trading, exchanging jade boxes and small bottles with careful movements. Most others, however, sat silently in meditation, waiting for the trade meet to officially begin. Conversations were muted, mostly conducted through voice transmissions. Avoiding unnecessary attention, the second floor was hushed, almost oppressive in its stillness. At the table opposite Han Li sat an extremely fat man, without a mask, whose broad waist nearly deformed the chair beneath him. He smiled broadly at Han Li, though the layers of his face made the warmth of his expression ambiguous. Beside him, a shapely female cultivator with a mask caught the eyes of many, her vivid eyes hinting at sharp cunning. Luo's voice transmission warned, "Junior Marshal Brother Han, be careful, that fatty may seem harmless." But together with the woman beside him, they are from the Devil Dao Harmonious Bond sect's Flesh Rouge Devils. Their secret pair cultivation techniques can challenge even mid-stage Nascent Soul cultivators. Avoid provoking them, they're extremely dangerous. Han Li mentally added their names to his careful watch list. Observing all the cultivators, he then closed his eyes and began to meditate, absorbing the spiritual atmosphere of the room. As more masked Nascent Soul cultivators arrived, Daoist Heavencrystal was the last to enter. Immediately drawing attention, he walked to the center of the room, summoned a table and chair with white light, and finally, smiling warmly, he said, "Everyone should have already arrived. If nobody has anything else to say, let us start the trade meet." And that wraps up this episode. In this part, we saw Han Li following the child fire dragon and Luo into the Crystal Dragon Pavilion, where the lively restaurant on the outside turned out to be nothing but a clever illusion hiding a secret gathering of Nascent Soul cultivators. Inside, the atmosphere shifted completely, revealing a serene, almost mystical space filled with mist, soft light from moonstones, and the quiet hum of powerful spiritual energy. Han Li observed the room carefully, taking note of masked cultivators whose identities were hidden but whose spiritual aura clearly marked them as formidable Nascent Soul experts. He noticed both potential allies and dangerous rivals, including the infamous pair from the Devil Dao Harmonious Bond sect, whose combined power could rival mid-stage Nascent Soul cultivators. This episode gave us a clear sense of the strict rules, unspoken tensions, and delicate etiquette that govern interactions at these elite gatherings. We also saw Han Li's cautious and attentive nature, how he measured everyone's strengths and weaknesses, and how he silently adapted to the complex environment. The episode highlighted the contrast between outward appearances and hidden reality in the world of cultivation, emphasizing that one's power, observation skills, and strategy are all crucial in navigating these high-level encounters. If you enjoyed this episode or found it exciting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications for the latest episodes following Han Li's journey. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next episode.